So we have a motion to open the meeting.
Make a motion to open the public meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Beth, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. So Cody?
Colby Streeter, present.
Rob Usula, yes.
And Vicky Janicki, chair, yes. At this point, I would like to appoint Darlene Sodano as our a full member for the purposes of this meeting. Oh, we forgot one of the applicants. So let's roll into the hearing. I think we're at, oh, we got another minute. Computer says 6:35. My watch says 6:34. We'll go by the computer.
And I get 6:35.
Okay. We have a motion to open the hearing.
Who has the legal notice?
The legal notice is here. Darlene, who's clerk? Was it John Page?
I was just looking on the at the names. I don't know who the clerk is. It says member. I move to make Colby Streeter the clerk.
We have a second.
Good job.
Can we do that, Beth, without it being on the agenda? Okay.
Yeah.
Second,
All right, roll call. Darlene?
Yes.
yes.
Robert? Colby?
Oh, yeah. Do I actually vote on this? Colby Streeter, yes.
Okay, and I'll also say yes, so it's unanimous. So do you have a copy of the legal notice? If not, I can pass one down to you.
Get it on this.
Okay, just note there is a typo, so you might want to just fix it. We should go along.
Sure. It's supposed to be 2021 or 2020, the typo.
It's earlier in the, if you read earlier in the notice, it's correct.
Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 9, in the Townsend zoning bylaw, the Townsend Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025 at 6:35 p.m. at 272 Main Street to consider the application of Addison Newt for modifications to 2 special permits granted in 2009 and 2010. These permits authorize the reconstruction of 9 residential units, pre-existing non-conforming use under Townsend zoning law, Chapter 145, Section 18, and 145-65. The applicant seeks to remove or amend condition number 1 of the 2009 permit, which states the use shall comply with the definition of hotel motel in Article 2, Chapter 145, Article 5 of the Townsend zoning bylaw. The applicant also requests to remove or amend condition number 1 of the 2010 permit, which states the use shall comply with the portion of the definition of hotel motel in Article 2, Chapter 145, Article 5 of the Townsend Zoning Board, which allows for the temporary lodging of persons. The applicant shall be allowed to reconstruct the cottages as they now stand, including kitchens. The subject property is located at 159 Brookline Road, map 38, block 9, lot 0, within the outlying commercial district and the Aquifer Overlay District. And the link is provided there.
Yep.
Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to the application may do so at the hearing or in writing prior to the hearing. Copies of the application are available for review at Town Hall during business hours or by mailing a request for a digital copy to zba@townsendma.gov.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So we need to open the hearing. So we have a motion to open the hearing.
Second.
I make a motion, we open the hearing.
You know, when someone reads the legal notice, we take that as a motion, but
Okay,
I get, okay.
All right, so we have
So moved.
moved, roll call, Darlene,
Yes.
Yes.
Robert,
Colby Streeter, yes.
and myself, makes it unanimous. So, we've read the legal ad. I see the applicant is on the call. Would you like to make any comments or presentation at this time?
So I did provide Beth Faxon with a PowerPoint that has some related pictures in there if you guys want to take a look at that. Otherwise, I don't. Okay, you have it. I see. If there's not any questions, I mean, I don't feel the need to comment because the summary at the beginning kind of covered it. But if people have questions, we can.
All right, so why don't we start the review then? So, do we have any questions for Addison?
So I reviewed all the material that was supplied before I got here. And this is in the outlying commercial district.
Right.
I think the first thing we need to do is review the outlying commercial district, what's allowed as a matter of right and what's allowed by special permit. Because if there's something I'm not catching here, I don't see anything about multifamily being allowed in this district. The hotel motel is. And I'm looking at, why did we specifically put in that provision, that condition, it's gotta be transient? Well, because hotel motel is allowed and multifamily wasn't. So am I missing something with that?
It's a good to review then. Because I also saw that as well. When I looked, there was a table that I think Beth you provided in the folder that had like a table of what was in each allowed.
Yeah. Oh, great. I got screen sharing. Awesome. Okay. What would you like on the screen? Anything?
Can you put up the table the table that shows the permitted uses against the type of zone?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And that sort of summarizes, I think, the words that Beth is, that Darlene is looking for.
Okay.
You're correct that long-term housing is not allowed in outlying commercial districts by default, and that's what the grid will show.
So then my question to you is, how are you applying to change that condition if it's not allowed?
Well, my understanding is that through a special permit, it can be allowed to deviate from this default. And the reason why we're applying is because this has been the use of this property going back to previous owners. So there's no change in the historic use of the properties to make this amendment.
So what part of the special permit where it lists the things that are specially permitted are you applying under?
You're asking what the line is that I'm looking to have amended? Is that, do I understand the
The
question?
whole purpose of zoning is either it's allowed as a matter of right, you go see the building inspector, he gives you a permit. Or if it's a specially permitted use, you come to the zoning board and then you tell us all the criteria, how you fit all the special permit criteria to say, okay, how the use is going to be or the structure is going to be. And I'm not seeing any of that.
So what would be the special permit criteria you're referring to for long-term rentals specifically?
So I can't really see that. I'm
So
looking for it in here and I'm not.
So here's a message from our building commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here's,
That's what
this probably is relevant in this case. So, so the building inspector, I don't think is the building inspector on the Zoom? Just want to double check.
No.
Okay. So he says, here's my determination of classification of these units.
Yep.
The units shall be reclassified as non-owner occupied cottage dwellings as defined by Townsend bylaws. So I guess we need cottage dwellings, not apartment.
Okay, well, if we go to OCD, I want to find it in here. So this is just the table. So in OCD, dwelling single family, yes. Dwelling two family, there's no ZBA in here. Apartment, multifamily structure, there's nothing in here. Accessory apartment, multifamily development, lodging or boarding house, bed and breakfast, mixed use. There's nothing listed in here.
So what's the
That-
definition of cottage dwellings?
I don't think there is any.
Because
There
it says
is,
it's
yeah.
defined
I
in the
looked it up
bylaw.
today.
The definition of cottage dwelling was created with the age-restricted zoning bylaw a couple years ago. So there is a definition for cottage dwelling. If you look in the definitions, 145.5.
Which is?
Are you able to, let's see.
I'll pull that up.
Okay, thanks.
I have it,
Yeah,
I have it
so-
right here. Cottage dwelling is a detached one-family dwelling that does not exceed 1,800 square feet of livable floor area, meaning the heated floor area of the building above finished grade, excluding non-dwelling areas such as attic space or a garage.
Which is what they have out there.
Yeah, none of them are bigger than,
They have 9 units, right?
right.
Yeah.
Classified as non-owner occupied cottage dwellings. Which could be considered, you know, it's like a single family,
Okay,
but
Yeah.
there's density there. So what do we got?
let's go to, I got 145.29, and that should be what, I don't see this under here either. This property is located in the outlying commercial district.
Yeah.
This is the first place you go. So OCD permitted uses, all municipal purposes, including the administration of government, fire, and police stations, educational and religious uses, sale and rental of goods, merchandise, and equipment, restaurants and other places serving food or beverage, office, clerical, professional, research, and services not primarily related to goods or merchandise, detached single-family dwellings. Such accessory uses as are customary incidental to any of the above uses, hotel motel in operation prior to January 1970, provided the requirements of 145.35, 145.42, and 145.65 are met. And basically, that throws that into special permit criteria. Those are permitted by right. OCD uses allowed by special permit from the Board of Appeals. Athletic and recreational facilities, excluding motorized vehicle sports and recreational facilities. Commercial, entertainment, amusement facilities. Motor vehicle service stations, motor vehicle sales, motor vehicle repair shops, whether ancillary to sales or not. Storage and parking of goods and equipment. And then it lists the hotel motel. And number 6, sales facility for boats, camper, trailer, farm equipment, or construction equipment. So that leaves us with, okay, cottage dwelling, to me, it's multifamily. Cottage dwelling just kind of, to me, defines what the multifamily.
Would I be able to say something?
But regardless of what that is, it's not in here.
Hmm.
It's not allowed.
If
So
I could
that's what you gotta do first. So that's why I'm asking the applicant, where in here, C1 through 6, are you applying for?
Well, it seemed to me that the definition of the cottage dwelling as described there was a detached single-family home, and these are detached single-family homes that have their own postal addresses and electric meters and everything else. It's not like a multifamily building.
But you have a bunch of single families on one lot then, but that's not how it's ever been described. This was a single family home with hotel motel on it. They've never been categorized as single family dwellings. Hence the reason for the condition in the previous decisions that they be used for transient so that it fits what's allowed in zoning. So I think did you ask the building inspector for a determination of what's allowed and what's not allowed? Because when he writes that, he wants to see it conform, but he doesn't say it's allowed.
Yeah,
Well, in the email, he says, here is my determination of classification for these units, for the ZBA. The unit shall be reclassified as non-owner occupied cottage dwellings as defined by Townsend bylaw and non-transient as defined by the International Building Code.
So he's trying to say what he wants them classified as, but he doesn't go ahead and say whether it's
Is that the
specially
latest?
permitted by, you know what I mean?
is that his latest? What's
This
his latest?
So help
came
me.
in-
Help me get there.
Excuse me, Chair, I just put up the building commissioner's determination letter on the screen for you.
Yeah,
I can't see it. Can you make it a little bigger?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to read it if you'd like. Let's
Okay,
see.
go ahead. Why don't you read it?
Okay, Addison Newt regarding 159, 161 Brookline Street cabins. Addison, based on ZBA and building files, it appears that this property was granted a special permit in 2009 and 2010 for the rehab of a total of 9 cabins, see attached. Both special permits specifically state, quote, use shall comply with definition of hotel/motel, unquote. This definition is clear that use is temporary and no provisions for cooking shall be in the individual suites or unit. Both of these, I understand, are not the case today as you are using for long-term rentals. That being said, my determination is that you need to reapply to the ZBA for use as long-term rental units in lieu of the hotel/motel use, which was directed in these decisions. And then whoever is aggrieved by a zoning interpretation, the closing.
yeah.
So that's what they have done.
Yeah, I think that's the big issue here is these are long-term rentals, whatever, and they need kitchens. That's the whole thing. Part of the thing was you can't have kitchens, but now
Show me in the
They have
OCD
kitchens,
where
or
it's
they-
specially permitted for what he's saying he's classifying it as.
The only thing that could potentially be is the detached
He's saying,
single
yeah.
family. But the building inspector doesn't explicitly say
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? So do we need a more specific determination?
Okay, well, maybe now we go to the definitions of the motel and then the cottage, whatever, is there like a page?
He's saying shall be reclassified as non-owner occupied cottage dwellings as defined by Townsend bylaw and non-transient 780 CMR 2021 building code.
Building code.
Not Townsend, just.
Okay,
building.
General.
Do we
State
have a
building code.
definition in our code for cottage or whatever he's saying?
There is in 145-5.
Okay.
That's.
Yeah, right here.
It's
Colby just read it. Yep.
Detached one-family dwelling that does not exceed 1,800 square feet, which is clearly the case with these guys. They don't exceed 1,800 square feet. So they are detached, single family.
Yep,
They have addresses, and did you say they have
Yeah.
separate utilities? They pay their
Yes.
own
Yep, they do.
utilities, but they're being rented out.
and they have kitchens.
Yes.
All right, so they're cooking the whole thing
Parking, everything, yep.
and parking.
Mail.
Oh, mail, yeah.
Yeah, so please bear with, we want to make sure we're, our job is to make sure we're adhering to the code, the town zoning code, and that we do the right thing
Yeah.
in the end. So,
Yep, no problem.
the other thing, let me go look at the special permit, previous ones.
So the building inspector is saying these units shall be reclassified as non-owner occupied cottage dwellings as defined by Townsend bylaw and non-transient. That's all he's basically saying.
Well, he wants them to be classified as to what they're being used as.
Yeah,
So,
so he's saying non-owner occupied, quote, cottage dwellings defined by Townsend bylaw and, quote, non-transient, unquote, defined by the building code. So, but if they were to become transient, occupied for less than
Like
30
Airbnb or
days,
something,
like an
yeah.
Airbnb and that kind of stuff.
And then that changes the use.
Then that
And
changes
that
it.
invalidates the
Yeah,
special
that
permit.
invalidates.
Or-
So he's saying it's okay to be reclassified as non-owner occupied cottage dwellings.
I get that, but I'm still not convinced it's allowed.
In the OCD.
As it is, to do an accessory dwelling, you're only allowed one unit. You're not allowed to put a whole bunch of single-family dwellings on a lot. And I think all these current changes to our bylaw is making that a little cloudy.
Yeah.
But they've already,
So, but is an accessory unit the same as a cottage dwelling? I feel like those are entirely different things, right? When you think of cottages, you do think of many on one lot versus an accessory unit is usually one. That's the way in my mind.
I'm tending to need some legal input.
hopefully, yeah.
To make sure that we are clear on what the definition of this
Because if
cottage
you
dwelling.
say, oh,
yeah.
whether it's a cottage dwelling or not, it's still single family, right? It's just smaller.
Yeah,
And you do this, you're gonna allow anybody to put multiple dwellings on one lot.
Well, this is
Except-
already a special permit.
But if we're doing it as a special permit, then it's a special case, it won't.
yeah.
But are you worried about setting a precedent so someone else?
And anybody in OCD could come in and put multiple dwellings on a lot. And I'm not seeing it. I think I need clarification from town council of if that fits in the specially permitted criteria of OCD.
Okay, can I make a suggestion that you, Chair, please just read the referral comments before you continue or whatever you're gonna do?
Yeah, do we have more, are they printed out?
Yeah, they're in your folder.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's read those into the record. Yes. And I'm not finding it, sorry, just give me a sec. Not a paper here. This is for the planning boards, that's something else.
For the comments.
I'm looking
from
for
boards.
did I hand them off to someone?
They were under the building commissioner's comment.
I got it now, all right.
I have them right here if you need.
All right, so for the record, As far as referral notice from the Conservation Commission, the comment is, the property at, it says property of 159 Brookline Street is within an aquifer protection district overlay. The property is in an area of critical environmental concern, an ACEC. There is a wetland 100-foot buffer and possibly a 200-foot riverfront resource area on property as well. So that was from the Conservation Commission. Of course, these are existing and they were already able to put a septic in. Next, we have from the Board of Selectmen, we trust zoning will do the correct thing. Lot of direction. Highway Superintendent was no comment, does not see it change, and the Board of Health had no comment.
Thank you.
Okay. So, it sounds like, if there are, it sounds like we want to continue the hearing to get some legal
Because
feedback.
Yeah,
If you're gonna redefine this as a cottage dwelling, it doesn't say cottage dwellings are allowed.
Would you
I
consider?
thought that it does though. I mean, isn't this list that we're looking at, or you're telling me cottage dwelling was not one of the things that is by default under OCD?
I don't see
Maybe
it in
I
there.
missaw it. Okay.
Oh,
Where is
Madam-
cottage dwelling allowed?
Good question.
Madam
Yeah.
Chair, would you consider taking public comment? You have quite a few people here from the public before you decide to continue or whatever you decide.
Let's get comment into, public comment into the record before we do a continue. How can I tell who, I don't think that, is there anybody in the room that has a comment?
So I'm Kieran, I'm the staff member from the Land Use Department,
Yeah.
Affordable Housing. There is an affordability sort of aspect, though not criteria for that, for those folks staying over there. Just think that's important to acknowledge in terms of how you define what it becomes and what it means to those folks that are residing there.
Yep. All right, let's see, we've got a good number of people. Laura, I see your hand is up. Would you like to provide a comment?
See if I can, okay.
And if you could state your full name?
Yeah, just a minute. Laura Schifrin. Laura Schifrin, 28 Barker Hill Road. A couple of things. I heard it stated that this is, the cottages are already 55 and over. What was the 55 and over reference? I heard it earlier.
Oh, that was part of the 55 and older zoning laws is where cottage dwellings came in. Remember, I think you referenced that senior housing. There was
Okay, and you said that was 2 years ago, Beth?
Whenever that bylaw was passed, I think it was 2 years ago, but that definition was entered into the zoning bylaw as a component of that bylaw, the age-restricted development.
Okay. So are the cottages being used as age restricted? When you say that there is a component of financial, I'm sorry, I forgot who said that. What is that component?
we're just taking comments at this time.
I'm trying to find out. I'm in favor of the housing. I don't want to see them lose the 9 units or for 9 families to be, not families, but I mean, they're that small, for the housing to be lost in Townsend for any reason. But I'm trying to get the whole picture and I think I agree with Darlene Sedano, that we should have a legal opinion as to just what we can do. We are not against housing.
Right.
Sure. Okay, because we're lacking in housing. But I understand wanting to issue the correct decision and have that written for everyone's benefit,
Right.
so that nobody is hurt by this. But if there are other components that the zoning should know about, like income, is it income related? Is it age restricted? Because all those things would play into perhaps a higher benefit.
Mhm.
So that's all I wanted to mention. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Those are excellent points. Do we have any other comments from the audience on Zoom? Okay. Do we have a motion to continue the hearing?
So we're going to, we need to make a motion. We can just get a legal opinion from town council
Yeah.
as to what he sees as in specially permitted uses. And then, I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind, if he says, no, you're right, you know, there's no place for these cottage or whatever that term is. Maybe it's something that we bring to the planning board for a public hearing, bring it to town meeting,
Right.
and change the bylaw.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's against housing, but
It's just in this case, it's an existing,
clearly what I see is they were given a permit and they were told to use it for transient, and they're not.
right.
So they're breaking the
It's-
premise
it's-
of the permit they were
it's-
given.
It was always,
The use
or
has
it's been
changed.
housing for 20
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
was several owners before us.
Changing the criteria.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. I
it's
think
not that
we need a
anyone's against
legal
it, but just
opinion
because
then.
we like something, if it's not allowed,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, we have
that's
to
the
fix
crappy
it.
part of zoning.
Yeah.
We might like it, but if it's not allowed,
Yeah.
that's comes first.
And the other
I
thing
don't
is,
see
we have to
anything that
fix it.
disallows it either.
so that's, but
yeah.
Yeah, prohibited uses. If it's not specifically in here as permitted or specially permitted, it's prohibited. So you have to read the prohibited uses.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I understand that by default it's not allowed, but I thought that my understanding was that the special permit could be used to just in this case make an exception. Is that a misunderstanding of the use of special permits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it still has to fit in the bylaw unless you want to go for a variance, and that's a different story, so it has to fit.
And the other thing I noticed is the special permits, I guess by default, they expire in 2 years. And I didn't see a date where it said this is good for until ownership changes or until this event or, so we would need to do a new special permit anyway. So we might as well get it right.
So I guess I'm also confused because this application's been, refined over the course of months with the building inspector's input, and he was recommending not a new special permit, but just the revision of these previous two. And I guess, so is he confused too on what this is?
Perhaps.
I'm not seeing in his determination any verbiage that's addressing the concern that I have. So either he overlooked it or didn't look at it with that regard, or that's why I want to get kind of an opinion from town council. If town council can go in there and pull something out of that we can work with, awesome. But if not, we have to find another, or help you try to find a
another way.
solution.
We'll find, our goal is to find a solution that is legally correct.
Yeah.
So, and within the bounds of that book there.
So for continuation dates, I don't know, Colby, when is the next Conservation Commission meeting?
It's next week, next Wednesday.
What's
Okay,
a good time frame to give town council to respond? We
I
should make
think
sure.
he could probably, I'm guessing 2 weeks turnaround, but we have town meeting coming up and everything. I don't think it'll be that long, but so maybe October 1st, do you think? The Wednesday or October 8th?
Let's, I should, far as I know, October 1st is okay. Look okay, any, for everybody else?
Yes.
And my system, come on.
Yeah, I'm out of town when. Hey,
Calendar. Helper.
it's my wife, tell me, when I'm not here.
Yeah, I'm free on the 1st. Right,
We're around on the 1st, right?
Yeah, so before you make the motion, just make sure you have a certain time and certain date.
right, so it's,
Continue
October
to-
1st is 6:30.
Yeah.
The hearing to 6:35,
Yep.
right? Okay. Right, someone wanna make a motion?
I make a motion, we continue this hearing till October 1st at 6:35.
Have a second?
Second.
Colby?
Colby Shea, yes?
Robert?
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
And Vicky, will say yes as well. All right, so sorry for delaying a decision. You know, you don't need to, you know, it's not like we're saying it's not gonna happen. We just wanna find the right way to make it work.
Okay, understood.
Get more information instead of denying it.
Yeah, I'd rather continue it and work it out.
If you talk to legal, will they need to be in touch with us, or will we hear from anybody before that meeting, or?
I'll get in touch with you and I'll let you know what he says. I can forward that to you before the meeting so you can prepare.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, so let's move on. Our next exciting, is the planning board mandatory referral on the citizens petition zoning amendment proposal. So this isn't a vote, this is a discussion of what response we would like to provide back to the planning board as part of that. Did everyone get a chance to review the petition?
Yes.
I didn't.
Would you like a few minutes to take a look at it? Let's see what.
Is
I'm
this,
also happy to describe it too, if you like.
you wanna describe it?
Yeah, you can read it and describe it, but it's, there are two parcels that are owned and over, sort of, the overwatch of the Townsend Affordable Housing Trust. They're up on Blood Road in West Elm, they're adjacent and abutting to one another. The Townsend Affordable Housing Trust has a goal of looking to put, some type of housing product up there. As, you know, whether it be a 55 plus, affordable housing, whatever, you know, it's like 5 buildings, 20 units total. Similar to what you're seeing in other communities now, where it's trying to find avenues for housing for folks as a goal of the Townsend Housing Affordable Trust. The citizens petition is looking to remove the ability to do that within those two parcels. So they're essentially trying to down zone the two parcels from their current status to not that status that makes it eligible for housing.
What's the zoning, do you know, RA
It's RA.
2,
Yeah, off the
3?
top of my head, I think it's RA, it's just suitable for housing. I don't know in specificity off the top of my head, Beth maybe I can pull it up.
So under what premise would you be looking to do the project, not a 40B, but something, the other affordable, you're not sure
I
yet, or?
can't, yeah, I mean, we're so far off from like
Yeah.
that type of consideration, and it's really the trust that will make that call. I'm just their administrator
Okay.
from the manager's office, so,
Do you, so the trust owns it, the property now?
correct.
All right, so,
Oh, I see.
okay, so this is
So
not
the
the.
trust
sticking with
owns
this-
those two parcels.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so,
They don't own any other parcels.
I mean, they own others in town, but not
Yeah, but just those two.
those two.
those
So
are the
now
ones-
there's a citizens petition to not put housing there.
Yeah,
No, it'd be single family would remain,
Oh, just remain
rules.
single family.
yeah, well, it's either
Not
RA or
allow it.
RB.
yeah, it's almost like, you know, putting a restriction, almost like, I'll use conservation restriction as an analogy for it.
Yeah.
To restrict housing from going there.
I don't have any comment on that. It's, I don't know, the zoning board, our job, we're a reactionary board. We react to petitions.
Yeah.
And I don't know, sometimes I don't feel the need to comment on something
No, I
like
just want
that,
to
but
understand
almost feels like-
exactly.
like,
Seems-
sounds like spot
To
zoning in a
me,
way,
yeah,
but.
it seemed kind of random that, okay, these two parcels in town, suddenly citizens petition and you can't do.
I mean, I'd rather see some characteristic
I mean,
about that,
anything that they'd be looking to do would have to come before multiple boards and
Oh,
have
yeah,
all kinds of
yeah.
process anyways, so
Yeah.
just to go ahead and just say no to exclude parcels, I don't even
Yeah,
know.
there's there'd
If
be
that
at
would
least
pass.
two things where it's either going to the planning board or it's gonna come to us as a
Yeah.
ZBA.
Yeah.
So there are
Yeah.
safeguards,
Right.
to make sure that they
Yeah.
fall within the parameters that are here. But,
I didn't see any kind of reasoning explaining why these should be excluded either. It wasn't
Yeah,
a narrative
right,
offered for
right.
that at all, so.
There was not.
Yeah, if they
Right,
wanted
it's just-
us to
yeah.
understand what
got-
the
yeah.
purpose is, then they should have offered something.
it is a petition, citizen petition, they, it's their right to put it forth to town meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can, what we would like to respond, we could do no comment, we can,
I don't know if anyone else, I
Or
just
just say,
don't, I don't have a comment.
Yeah, I think no comment.
I think that's appropriate.
all right, Beth, you have our,
Have your
Okay,
no
Beth.
comment?
no
I have
comment.
no comment, okay. No comment. Got
All
it.
right, next on the agenda, the MBTA Communities Multifamily Overlay Bylaw Amendment and its relationship to the special town meeting. Do we have someone on the call who's going to give us a little more information?
So, good evening, everybody. I'm Joseph Boyle from the Montezut Regional Planning Commission. I have been working as the planning board's consultant in the town's response to the MBTA Communities Act, and for the past 2 years, actually. And we have finalized a proposal, a warrant article for town meeting. The proposal would create an overlay zoning district over a portion of the southern outlying commercial district on Route 13. Within that overlay district, as required by the MBTA Communities Act, multifamily housing up to a density of 15 units an acre would be allowed by right. It would likely, multifamily housing projects would almost certainly all still trigger site plan approval review. And so the bylaw directs the site plan approval to the new site plan approval section that was adopted at the beginning of the year for accessory dwelling units. You currently have a site plan review special permit in your zoning. It's a special permit. You cannot have a special permit requirement for multifamily zoning in the under the MBTA Communities Act. It has to be allowed by right, but you can have site plan review, site plan approval. So there's this second site plan approval that now exists in your zoning that isn't a special permit, and multifamily projects in this district would be reviewed by the planning board under that. A map of the district I see has been shared. Like I said, it is drawn over a portion of the outlying commercial district on Route 13, just north of the Lunenburg town line. As you can see, the shape of the district was drawn to encompass mostly the back part of the district away from Route 13 in order to preserve the maximum development potential, maximum commercial development potential along Route 13 where it is highly desirable, rather than have it, the best commercial land be developed for residential. There is a tail, as you can see, that goes out to Route 13, and that is so that to make sure that access will be provided from Route 13, and the frontage on Old City Road will not be what the entirety of the district's development depends on for its access. Now, the requirement under the state law is that you adopt a zoning district that allows multifamily zoning up to 15 units an acre, and that the district be large enough that at that density, you hit the town's required number. The number is 178 units. And so this works out to about 12.2 acres. You are also allowed to allow other uses in that district. And so what we talked about at the planning board was providing for a second ramp for developers. Yes, they are allowed to develop it with multifamily housing. However, the bylaw also provides for single and two-family housing on small lots. There's a couple of reasons this was done. The first is it was deemed more desirable by the planning board that the property, if it does get built for housing, include more neighborhood type, houses. Single-family houses, even two-family houses, as opposed to the big multi-acre, multi-family campus style development with big driveway and parking lots in the interior and things like that. The second reason is because there isn't sewer and water at this site. It would be dependent upon wells and whatnot. And so in order to provide for the realistic opportunity for the development of some housing here, providing options for some underlying for some housing development that isn't going to depend entirely on there being municipal sewer there was deemed desirable. At this point, you've seen the bylaw, you've seen the district. Are there any questions?
What happens if town meeting doesn't pass it?
Okay, if town meeting doesn't pass it by December 31st of this year, then the town will be considered non-compliant under the MBTA Communities Act. That comes with some pretty severe consequences for the town, including you will no longer qualify for a lot of grant funding that the community has been using and depending on. You'll be put, in consideration for competitive grants, you'll be put to the bottom of the pile. There are other potential. That includes, by the way, it came to my attention that the town's PFAS grants may be endangered. It was the town's water commissioner who was discussing that last time. That's a $4 million grant.
Yeah, Joseph, if I could jump in, so I'm also your grant writer.
Yeah.
In the past, I did a few years worth of research on the total grants that the town has received, right around $2 million. And that does not include $4 million that the water department is also going to get. If on January 1st of 2026, no longer eligible. The door is shut for Mass Works, something like Kids Country, which we just got a new playground for.
What's the $2 million for?
It was a total of MVP grants, Council on Aging, Cultural Council.
So it's not just the water.
Highway,
And
fire department,
The ones that really worry me in the short term is fire department gear, fire department equipment. There's always more applications than resources, and non-compliant communities that were expected to receive funds had their grants rescinded and those grants redirected to compliant communities for replacing their fire department turnout gear. In the longer term, I worry about the nuclear bomb being the school building assistance program. That the next, those are competitive grant proposals, and I'm guessing that your community is probably in the 60 to 70% reimbursement coverage category for that. So that next time that the town requires a school, that could be in the tens of millions of dollars.
We just built one.
Right, right.
the
So like I said, that's longer term.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask you a question. How many communities have said no to this?
So, well,
What's our ratio?
basically, there are four prominent. There are about four that have dug in their heels and fought it and said no. And I think the passage. I think we're over 100 that's passed. I want to say it's somewhere in the 110 range. I don't have the number exactly in my head. The ones that have fought it have all lost. Milton that's the name I'm trying to think of. Milton tried to claim that it didn't apply to it and that it shouldn't be required to comply, and tried to get as a fallback, tried to get itself recategorized. That did not work in court. There was an attempt to categorize this as an unfunded mandate, and that was that failed before the Attorney General and before the courts. West of Worcester, Warren or something, has declared that they have no intention of complying, but their compliance date isn't until December 31st. So there is nothing to happen until they are actually not compliant. Excuse me?
I have to tell you, they talked about my thing briefly, and they say there's no explanation for it, no comment right now. So wait till Monday, I can do all my explaining then. There you go. So they're gonna pass over.
Is that somebody that needs to mute?
You guys want to mute?
All right.
Hello?
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
this is Laura Schifrin. I'm going to speak now as a selectman. Nelson today sent me, because I asked the same question. The most recent one to comply is Westminster, and that was last night. Right now, there are only, I just counted them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 communities that have not yet voted it in. Most of the communities have complied. They've got conditional compliance. Zoning has been adopted and or needs some review. We're lucky, maybe Joe can speak to this, about the fact that we have already been pre-reviewed. Maybe Joe, you can mention that. But we will lose a lot of money. The water department comment came up last night, and I hadn't known that myself. We have received millions of dollars for the PFAS and our water department, as well as a 2.5 that Kieran has the list for, that's on the map that Beth had up before on the screen. We need to pass it. We don't have the funds to fight it. And as Joe mentioned, 4 towns have fought it, but they lost. The state is ruling in favor, the courts are ruling in favor of the state. And so we're going to lose a lot if we don't. And we don't even know when it's ever going to be developed. You just need the zoning to allow it. And we have done that. When I say we, I was on planning. We have done that to the furthest part of town that it could be and the closest to the MBTA. So, as Joe stated, it's almost 2 years that we've been looking at this. We looked at 6 or more in the beginning areas, narrowed down to 3, selected another, was not approved. And however, this was our favorite, if you will, in planning as to location, as to leaving commercial opportunities there, and as to having a development that's not going to be seen by the road. So thank you very much, Chairman.
You're welcome. So what's being asked of us? Are we being asked for a comment or is it just informational?
Has nothing to do with us, really.
Is it just informational? I just want to make sure we're not being expected to do
Oh,
anything.
this is informational, but you did have a referral form sent to you, but the board did not meet. So I did send around an email. I don't know if you ever reviewed it at that time, asking for comments, and I didn't receive any from any board members, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the same. It's just
Yeah.
we're reactionary and I think on a personal level, a lot of us are
Town meeting
in favor,
business. Yeah.
cool. Okay. All right. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You are welcome. Were there any specific questions about the text about the district? Nope.
Like you said, it's been around for 2
No.
years, so
Yeah.
we're.
Good to go.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
Joe.
right. Thank you. Nice to meet you all. Have a good night.
Thanks, Joe.
So that brings us to any correspondence. Beth, is there anything we need to react to in the correspondence today?
No, I don't think there's anything you need to react to. Mostly informational. And there's the public hearing notice. There's what else? I printed everything out there. I think I printed out a copy of the warrant for special town meeting for your review. There's a couple of printouts, but no action items, just informational. The safety action plan has just been released for public comment. It would be great if you could at least read the executive summary and just share in that planning process. Townsend has received, we were participating with MRPC in that planning process. I was on the VSAC committee to help create the plan, and I think it's come together pretty well. It's a pretty good product, but it's only as good as the people that are living and driving through and using public transportation in the community. So any feedback now would be great while the public comment period is open. I believe it's open till October 10th. So even if you just read the executive summary, Townsend did opt in. Thank you, Select Board. So there are specific projects in that plan that address problem areas in town. So anything you want to add would be welcome. Thanks.
All right, and with that, we've completed our agenda.
Okay.
So we have a motion to close the meeting.
Move to adjourn.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Colby,
Yes.
Robert,
Yes.
Darlene?
Yes.
Vicky is yes. Thank you all. Thank you all on the calls. We'll see everyone October 1st.